Hello everyone, this is Advocate Dr. Sheetal Babar, and in this session I shall be discussing about principles of Muslim inheritance for Sunni male. In one of my earlier session I have taken up the topic of general principles of Muslim law. While discussing general principles of inheritance for Muslim law, I have discussed certain categories or terminologies such as sharers, residuaries, and distant kindred. So these are the terms which we shall be coming across, especially the sharers and the residuary, when we discuss this particular topic of principles of Muslim inheritance for Sunni male. Let us see one by one how these principles of inheritance are applicable to a Muslim male who follows Sunni as a subsect. In this slide, you could see certain males who are considered to be legal heir for the propositors. So in total, there are 6 categories of male heirs. Husband, in case of the property is of a female, husband is considered to be a male legal heir under Sunni law. Son is one of the categories. Full brother, father, grandfather, and uterine brother. Now, when it comes to these 6 categories, not all of these 6 categories shall be put up into the similar footing or onto the similar platform. They being into their respective roles will receive different and separate property, not only as per the volume or amount, also in consideration as to whether they shall receive the property as sharer or the residuary. So let us again go ahead with another slide to understand how these different males receive the property as being into their respective roles. Here we talk about father as one of the categories. Father being one of the male legal heir of a female Muslim dying intestate or a male Muslim dying intestate, or even if we considering succession, father receives the property. There are 3 conditions when it comes to father to receive the property. Now father is the relation in context to the one who has been deceased. So father of the deceased person shall receive the property in 3 contexts: with child of the one who is predeceased, whose property is to be devolved. So father takes 1/6 share with the child of the propositors. The share is 1/6 as mentioned in the slide. With child of son of the propositors, father takes the same share, that is 1/6 share. Because in Muslim law, the arrow, if it is going downwards, it goes half low soever. Hence, child of son. Now here it is a point to be noted that it is not child of child. It is child of son. So children of son will definitely not disturb the share of the father. It remains the same, that is 1/6. However, in case if there is no child of the propositors or the person whose property is to be devolved on his death, without the child of that person or child of son of that person, father of that person will receive the property as the residuary. In case with the child or with child of the son, father will receive the property as the sharer. So in general, father receives property in 2 circumstances. With child or child of a son, he receives 1/6 of the property, and without child or child of a son, he succeeds to the property as a residuary. Here we talk about a true grandfather. A true grandfather will receive the property as a sharer as well as the residuary. However, there again are two different circumstances in which he receives the property in respective role. As a sharer, true grandfather receives 1/6 share, but there are two conditions for this. The first condition is with child or child of a son of the one who has died or who is deceased, the propositus. With the child of the propositus or child of son of propositus, true grandfather receives 1/6 share. But there again is one more condition. If father is there in the surviving frame, then true grandfather does not come into the sharer's list. Father is the one who is prioritized to true grandfather. So true grandfather comes into the scenario only when there is absence of father. Also, if there is presence of any nearer grandfather, then grandfather who is the farthest one shall not receive the property as the sharer. Let us see true grandfather's role as residuary. True grandfather will receive the property as residuary when definitely there is no father, no nearer true grandfather, as well as no child of the propositus or son of child of the propositus. So including both of these conditions in negation, true grandfather will receive the property as residuary. So, in short, true grandfather, who is the nearest grandfather in absence of father only, receives the share 1/6 of the property of the propositus only when there is child of the propositus or child of son of propositus. While in absence of all of these category of individuals, true grandfather receives the property as the residuary. The next one we talk about is husband. Husband receives the property only as the sharer, and he does not receive the property in absence of presence of anyone as a residuary. That means the share of husband is confirmed with the presence of some category of individuals, or in absence also of these category of individuals, husband's share is confirmed and it does not get vitiated in any of the circumstances because he is not put up as residuary in absence of any of the category of individuals. Let us see how. With the child or child of son, husband takes 1/4 property. Now when I am talking this, when I am discussing about this, here the property in context or claim of the property to be devolved upon husband is of a female Sunni who follows Muslim as a religion with subsect Sunni. So the property in question is a female property. Here her husband with her children or child of a son, her child of a son shall receive 1/4 of the property. Because Muslim law gives permission or grants permission for 4 marriages, this child or child of son is only in context to the female who has died or who is predeceased, and her share or her property is to be devolved. Hence, it is not husband's children or children of son, but children or children of son of the female who has died intestate. In this case, with her children, or in case of absence of children but presence of children of son, her husband will receive 1/4 property. While if there is absence of any such child of hers or child of son, he will receive more the property or double the property which we would have received in presence of child or child of son. That is half the property. So, in earlier two categories, what we have seen is there was a chance of father or true grandfather to be put up or picked up from the category of sharer and put up in the category of residuary while receiving the property. Sure, husband is not put up in any another category but is fixed as the sharer under inheritance of Sunni law. Let us talk about uterine brother. Uterine brother is the one who is in relation to this propositus through same mother. They can be different fathers, but mother is same. In this case, what is the role of receipt of the property to this uterine brother? He picks up the share as the sharer, but only if in case there is no full brother, there is no son, there is no father or true grandfather of the propositus. Only in this case, along with certain female sharers like full sister, daughter, child's daughter, in all of these cases, if all of these categories are absent in the surviving frame, then and then only uterine brother receives the property. Let us see, if there is only one uterine brother, how much is his share and are there any mandates of him to receive the property? Uterine brother comes into the scenario when there are no children to the propositus, as well as there is no child of son of the propositus. In this case, he takes 1/6 share. So what happens when there is a child or child of son of the propositus? Uterine brother is excluded from surviving frame. So 1/6 is the confirmed share of uterine brother only in absence of child, child of son, father and true grandfather. If all of these categories are absent, then only uterine brother comes into the scenario and his share is fixed, that is 1/6. However, there comes a scenario or instance where there are more than one uterine brothers. So in this plurality, 1/3 is the share along with all these mandates, that is no child, child of son, no father, no true grandfather. In that case, more than one uterine brothers is considered to be a category and 1/3 of the share is to be devolved upon this category as uterine brother. So if there are two uterine brothers, 1/3 share will be distributed in two parts and that shall be devolved upon these two respective brothers. If there are three uterine brothers, 1/3 share will get parted up in three parts and 1/9, 1/9 and 1/9 will be the share respectively devolved upon each of these three uterine brothers. Let us find out the last positions of two individual categories, son and full brother. Son and full brother basically are not the sharers to receive the property. However, these two categories shall receive the property as residuaries. So let us see how son and full brother receives the property and in what conditions? Basically, son is not a sharer. However, he receives the property in presence of daughter. So presence of daughter is a mandate for a son to receive the property. Then again, son will never be a sharer. He shall receive the property along with the daughter as residuary and not as a sharer. While on the other hand, daughter remains a legal heir as a sharer. So, son, if in presence of daughter, will receive the property as a residuary. In this condition, son will take daughter from the sharer's category to residuary category. So, even if daughter is the sharer, but in case if she has a brother, that means son of the propositors, then daughter will receive the property not as a sharer but the residuary. So here presence of son disturbs the position of the daughter and vice versa, or rather in case of a son, he receives the position as a legal heir to inherit the property of his father or mother only in presence of sister. So, talking about a full brother also, we're not talking about uterine brother because uterine brother is a sharer while full brother is not a sharer. He receives the property only in case of presence of full sister. So, survival of full sister or sister being full sister rather being into survival frame only will make full brother eligible to receive the property, and he similarly onto the footings of son will receive the property as residuary. So till now we saw all of these six category male individuals to receive the property: father, grandfather, husband, brother, that is uterine brother, full brother and son. So this is all. We make special rules or special principles applicable to Muslim males who follow Sunni as the religion or subsect. So thank you so much for watching this video.